Start in on colony number 2, which is my older colony, and see where they're going. Looks like I'm going to need to get a little help to loosen it up. Yep. There we go. Plenty of business. Again, not seeing any hive beetle activity, because I do have the beetle baffle on both hives. Girls seem to be doing mostly okay. Not super busy today, but it's also not super hot out. I did put a honey super on this a couple weeks ago, and I did have to harvest one frame of honey during following that time, because the comb was completely out of control. So now we're just going to take a look at and see what they're doing. Looks like they're doing a little bit of cross combing, but I think I can fix that relatively easily, and we'll see where we go from here. So they are definitely building out additional comb on this frame. They always start in a bit of a U shape, almost a V, and they'll build out all the comb. So we're going to just get this out of the way for now, put it on the stand, and see where we go from there. Provided I can get my frame stand to work correctly. Looks like it got bent a bit. See if that bends it back where it belongs. Yep, there we go. Okay, so now we're going to get into looking at the next frame, which is definitely built out a lot more. You see it's pure white. That means they are doing honey against it. You'll notice below there is that white checkered plastic. That is actually a queen excluder. So it keeps the queen from coming up into the honey super. Just makes life a little easier. So you can see this is all new honey. Totally not capped yet, totally not cured. You can see just a small amount of cap right there. But this is definitely a big work in progress. So we'll set that down and get on to the next. These are glued together really tightly with propolis, but we can make sure we get them out. Oh, this is much heavier. You can see some of the white capped honey right there. So this frame is getting a lot closer to being complete and filled in. Notice they haven't completely done the comb all the way out to the ends, but it's a really nice looking frame. So we'll put that back in. There we go. I think the next frame we're looking at is going to be almost entirely capped from what I'm seeing, but we'll find out in just one second. It's very heavy. Oh wow, yeah, this is beautiful. This is what you expect to see. This is almost completely capped. Just going to take this little bit off. And they will get a little unhappy, but they'll go cap it again when I'm done, and everything will be fine from there. Looking at the other side, you can see that they haven't completely finished capping it off. They're about halfway through. So all of this looks really super. No pun intended. All right, next frame over. We do want to make sure that we get these well separated so that we don't have any of the frame try to separate on us because of the weight, or if there happens to be burr cone. This one is completely heavy. It is, looks like completely capped on one side and almost completely capped on the other side. You can see just a little bit of honey at the bottom. that is not completely capped yet. So that's really looking awesome. So we'll put that back, but that one looks like it is pretty close to ready to harvest. And given the strength of this colony, we will almost certainly be harvesting honey within the next couple of weeks. And I put that one in backwards. For those of you that are curious or interested, it is pretty normal to have a few girls not make it through this process, but considering about 1,000 of them a day are born, I do my best to cause as little harm as possible. I have had occasion where I've probably killed 5-10 bees that I know of in an inspection, which happens once a week and or so. So they're definitely going to more than keep up with my carnage. You can see this frame has about half capped on the right, and they're still in the process of capping on the left. We're going to very carefully turn it around, and that is fully capped honey. So this frame is almost completely done in terms of them putting honey into it. We will definitely see where we're going. Looks like there's a few dead bees down in there, but not quite sure why or what's going on, but we'll kind of scrape those off and see if the girls will clean them up themselves. So nope, got it backwards again, trying to put them back in the same order, same direction that I took them out of, but that way don't kind of mess up their feng shui. So next frame. And I'm not really bothering with the smoke right now. I have the smoker going, as you can see, but they're not really getting agitated enough to where I really feel the need to do any smoking on them. So let's get that guy peeled up just a little bit. It looks like he might have attached himself partly to the bottom of the queen excluder. Yep, sure enough. Okay, so this one, what we're going to end up doing, it's partly filled out, not completely, but there's definitely some burr comb going on there. So I think what I want to do is smoke them off the bottom of it, and I'm going to scrape the comb off the frame. Try not to hurt anybody while I'm